Welcome back to Unpack, where we unpack what hurts so we can heal what's hidden. I'm MTS. I'm not a doctor, but I am a patient. This episode today isn't about mental health in the clinical sense. It's about something just as powerful: how another person can help build you, shape you, and strengthen your mind and your beliefs. Today, we're going to talk about mentorship because whether you realize it or not, none of us get through life alone. Somebody shows us the way. Sometimes they do it on purpose. Sometimes they do it without even knowing they're doing it. Mentor. A mentor is someone who teaches, gives advice, and offer guidance to someone less experienced. The root word of mentor comes from men, which means to think. That's important because a mentor, they just don't tell you what to do. They help you learn how to think. The word mentor also shows up in Greek mythology in the story of the Odyssey. I don't know if many of you actually have read the story or seen the movie, but I have. That's the little nerd in me. When King Odysseus left for war, he left his son in the care of a trusted guardian. And guess what that guardian's name was? Mentor. That's right, you guessed it. Or wasn't just a babysitter. He was a protector, a guide, and a teacher. And if you think about it right now, that's still the role of a mentor today. Think mentorship is like learning how to drive. Before you can get behind the wheel of a car, you need to read the rules of the road. Well, I know before I got behind the wheel of a car, before I learned to drive or took my driver's test, I had to read the rules of the road. That book, it taught me what the signs mean, the railroad crossings, the flashing lights. It showed me how to park on a hill, how to make safe turns, how not to hurt yourself or anybody else. Before these rules existed, I can only imagine people were probably just driving any old kind of way, right? Just probably crashing into everything. A mentor is just like that book. And sometimes, like the instructor who's sitting on the side of the passenger seat, that was either mom or dad. That was my dad saying, slow down, watch out, try it this way instead. They help you move through life without crashing into everything. Man, my first mentor, when I think about it, it was at this job I had called Zares. I know many of you are not going to remember Zares, especially you young folks. But my first mentor was this old Black guy back when I didn't even know what a mentor was. Matter of fact, I don't think I ever used the word mentor. He used to tell me back then, Montell, you can't do that. Montell, talk like this. Montell, always do a little extra when you're asked to do a job. At that time, when I was younger, I thought he was just getting on my case, just telling me what to do always. Now that I'm older, I look back. He was teaching me, how to navigate a work life and not a street life, because how you carry yourself on the outside does not translate into a regular job at all. You get fired quick. Every mentor that I had, they helped me to grow. They helped me to learn how to move differently, depending on the situation I was in and where I was at. I was able to go ahead and learn from that experience. Let's talk about the benefits of mentorship. Elizabeth Perry, a coach community manager at Better Up, she wrote on her blog about the benefits of mentorship professionally and personally. Let's first talk about professionally. Mentors help you clarify your career goals, expand your professional network, access a psychological safe space. So, what that means is you could talk to your mentor about anything without feeling like you're being judged. And on the personal side of mentorship, it can help boost your goal setting skills. It helps build that confidence and it improves your communication skills. I want to share with you what some of my friends said. I reached out to them and asked them what did mentorship mean to them or what was mentorship. One of my guys said, having a strong Black man of color in your life is like a cheat code to success. I like that. They teach you discipline. They teach you structure. They teach you how to think logically instead of letting your emotions run everything. I think that's really important. One of my other guys said that when a young person, someone of color, sees someone else who looks like them succeeding, something lights up inside of them. He also said that as men, we matter to our communities and we have a responsibility to lead by example and mentor the next generation. As a young man, well, for me, there was no father figure for me early on in life. But for many sons, their father is their first mentor. You see, I grew up in a single family home with my mom on the west side of Chicago. I can remember the first man that I ever really looked up to was my Uncle Floyd. Man, he made me believe I could do anything. I remember being afraid of getting on the elevated train. We call it the L here in Chicago. And I did not want to get on that thing. I refused to get on that roller coaster of death. And my Uncle Floyd was like the only one who can get me to ride that train. He talked to me and I got on the train. But I want to talk to you about my greatest mentor. That's my dad, Vernon Sanders. He was the first man that stayed in my life that showed me unconditional love, structure, and responsibility. He helped me get through my first breakup. I still remember that girl's name. I remember we were living in a big co-way building, AKA for some of y'all, that's an apartment building. It's just a big apartment building. I think it was the weekend. My dad came home and he said, "Son, I need you to go outside and clean the trash out of the grass." I'm like, "What?" I told him, "We don't own this building. Why do I have to go outside and clean it?" And I never forget, he said, "Son, if you can't be responsible now, you won't be responsible later." And I thought responsibility wasn't about ownership. It was about seeing something that needs to be done and getting it done. I'd like to thank you because I am the man I am today. Thank you, Dad. For those of you out there, I want you to know that mentorship is still possible. And if you're looking for a mentor, here's some resources. mentoringking.com, Center for Black Males, mentoring.org, 100blackman.org. These are some places you can find mentorship. Until next time, this is Unpack, where we unpack what hurts so we can heal what's hidden. I'm MTS. Thank you for joining. Please like and subscribe.